Hello everybody. This is the first time I've been live in quite a while. I think the last time was actually on Facebook. So thought I would check in and wish everyone a happy International Women's Day. I got this awesome mug from my friend Cindy that says, "Here's to strong women. May we know them, may we be them, and may we raise them." So there's a lot of badass, strong women that I know out there, and I want to wish you all a very happy International Women's Day. So about a week ago, I put a poll on my Instagram saying, ask me anything. And I can't believe I got like 15 questions. People just wrote in and wanted all kinds of information. So I had a poll on my Instagram saying, asking me anything, questions, real estate related or personal related or whatnot. So I got like 20 questions. I'm not going to go through all the 20 questions today, but I will be answering 5 or 6 of them. The last one is kind of funny. It's for my friend Kevin, who is actually a Second City comedian or instructor. And so I'm saving that for the end where I'm going to answer his kind of silly, funny question. So I'm going to start out with, and I'm going to mix it in between personal and professional questions because that's sort of what I got. So let's start with something that I get a lot. I have 4 children, and a lot of people ask me, how do I balance my work life and how do I do it all? Well, I don't do it all. Let's just be clear. And I have a lot of help, and I think that's the key in any role that we have in life is to ask for help when you need it. So I don't go grocery shopping. I don't cook very much anymore, even though I love to bake. My husband does a lot of that. He'll do a lot of the grocery shopping, thankfully, and I'll just run into like Trader Joe's to grab a few pieces of, fruit, snacks, and maybe flowers or whatnot for my friends, but I don't go grocery shopping. I hate it, actually. I really hate grocery shopping. The other thing I don't do is I don't clean my house. I have people that come in and clean my house. My kids have started doing their own laundry since they were freshmen in high school, so it's really just my husband and I. And when they were really little, so I had 4 children, and I had 4 children in 4 years, and twins, so that's how that happened. We had 2 nannies, so it was either 2 nannies, myself and a nanny, or my husband and a nanny, and that's how we did it. That's how I did it. So getting tons of help has always really, helped me balance things, but also I don't engage, and I don't just consume a lot. So I don't watch Netflix. I don't watch the shows. I don't watch the Kardashians. I don't do any of that stuff. I work all the time. I love what I do. I'm always trying to learn. I listen to podcasts. I just really am involved with either my kids, my family life, or just work, essentially. So I'm getting some really great questions here. Let's see. Credit Boy 222336. Do you think prices are going to go down or stay where they are in Glenview? Well, that's a really good question. Now, I'm going to answer this, and we all know that there is a macro and a micro real estate market, right? Macro is countrywide, and micro is very specific to a town, a neighborhood, and so we're specifically here in Glenview, Illinois, and I think prices are actually going to stay stable. There are not a lot of homes for sale on the market right now. We had some nice growth over the last few years, about 13% on average, not insane. Regarding values, there isn't a lot of inventory right now in Glenview, and yes, interest rates are going up. However, there's still demand, and we're still seeing a lot of multiple offers. So if the property looks really good and it's priced right, it's going to sell. That's it, because there's just not a lot of houses for sale right now. Things might change in a month, 2 months, but that's my take on what's going on right now in Glenview. We've seen multiple offers over and over and over. So work-life balance, what's going on in Glenview? Feel free to ask me some other questions. And let's see. So I got a question on where do I get my eye for interior design? So interestingly enough, not a lot of people know this, but one of my first jobs out of college was working at the Merchandise Mart in Chicago. So I managed several showrooms for designer commercial companies, and I did that for a few years, and I really think it was ingrained in me, and I was exposed to interior design at a very young age. I did that for quite a few years, and it was an amazing experience. And I think that's kind of where I got my eye for interior design, and I love it, and I'm passionate about it, and I'm Italian, so we're good at everything. No, I'm kidding. Not good at everything, but maybe good at that sort of thing. Who's my favorite interior designer? That's really hard to say. And my favorite interior designers are local people. They're local women. And I want to give a shout out to a few of my favorite interior designers here. Nina Kecke, she is fabulous. Let's see, who else? Emily Mackey with Inspired Interiors is amazing, and she's out of Wilmette, Winnetka area. Sarah Dibbold is great out of Glencoe. And then here in Glenview, Mason and Brass, they're phenomenal. And there's a whole list. I could probably name 8, 10 wonderful interior designers. So if anybody needs a really good interior designer, I am happy to provide those names and those contact information. I can give you, a couple different options when it comes to that. So do I think interest rates will drop? And if so, when? And might they drop by summer? Well, I don't think they're going to drop. I think until we can get a handle on this inflation, I think the Fed is not going to drop them. I'm hoping that they ease back on increasing them because it is really dampening the real estate market. And, real estate is what is it, a quarter of GDP? It contributes to a quarter of GDP. So everyone that it employs, when somebody buys or sells a house, everything from the appraiser, the photographer, the movers, let alone the agents, the title companies, the attorneys, I mean, you name it, Home Depot, people buying new stuff for their house. It really contributes to our GDP. So I truly feel that until they get a handle on this interest rate, on the inflation, interest rates are going to stay the same. They're going to tick up. Maybe by the end of this year, we might see them come down a little bit, but I don't have a crystal ball. I've just been talking to a lot of people, and I ask my experts, and this is what they're telling me. Okay, so this is kind of a fun question. What's the most expensive house I ever sold? Well, there's two in the $3 million range, 3.6 acres, and it sold for $3.3 million. And it was truly a very special diamond in the rough, and it was a private sale, so you won't ever find it in the MLS. It was a great thing. I was able to uncover this property for some specific clients' needs, and I worked with another agent, and I networked my network, and he had a seller, never wanted to go on the MLS, and we put the deal together very privately and quietly. Now, the other most expensive home that I ever sold was last year in 2022, also in East Glenview, and it was 1100 Normandy. This house was extraordinary. It's just over an acre, and it sold for $3.1 million and some change, like 3.125, I think. And that house was super cool. It was owned by an energy CEO, and he built it about 10 years ago, so he made it highly energy efficient. It had geothermal heating and cooling, solar panels, you name it, and this amazing estate had it, and it was just gorgeous. It was Morganti and Wilson were the architects. So some local, wonderful, very, very high-end, wonderful architects. So that one sold for $3.1 million. So those are the two highest and most expensive homes that I've sold here in my area. Someone asked me, do you need good credit to buy a house? Well, so I'm not a lender. I would definitely put someone in touch with a lender, and it depends what you mean by good credit. There are certain credit scores. You don't need perfect credit to buy a house. However, the better credit you have, the better interest rate you will get. And so, and I think it's really important to work with someone to look through your credit history, because sometimes there might be things on there that are either inaccurate or from a really long time ago that just haven't been erased from your credit history, which there's credit repair companies that can help you with that. So I live in Glenview. I've lived here for 21 years now, and I specifically live in Southgate in the Glen. And I love living here, and I'm a huge proponent of Glenview. I feel like it's Disneyland for families. I absolutely love living here. Oh, this is really good. Should I sell now or in the summer? So the peak season for the Chicagoland area here in the surrounding suburbs to sell a home is from March to July. So that's when the most amount of buyers are out looking, house hunting. So if you're a seller, that's the best time to actually put your home on the market and sell. It's seasonal. The snow's gone, and then also people are tied to the schools. Our schools here end sometime between early June and mid-June, and our schools begin in around mid to late August. So a majority of buyers who want to put their children in the local schools that might be moving here from out of state or from Chicago want to be able to register their children and then have them start on time. And oftentimes they want a couple weeks or a month to get settled before school starts. So it's very seasonal here in the Chicagoland area. It's not to say that we don't sell homes in the fall or holiday time, because I sold 2, 3 actually in the month of December. So people move all the time, but the most amount of homes sell and exchange hands in the Chicagoland area between the months of March and July. So that's the best time to actually sell your home. And you can sell in the summer, but I would say August and September. August is really slow month. A lot of people are focusing on either back to school or they're on vacation. So August is probably one of the slowest months. And I would recommend waiting until after Labor Day to put your home on the market if you're going to wait until the fall and not do it in the month of August, because it just might get missed. See, how's the market? The market is active. The market is very active. There's lots of people wanting to buy. And so if you're considering, wanting to sell, even if you're not ready until July, until October, it's really important to get in touch with a local real estate agent to start the process and think through, what do I need to do to get my house ready? Because a lot of people have been in their homes for 7, 10, 20 years. On average, people stay in their homes 10 years. That's a lot of stuff you need to deal with and pack up and declutter. So it's always a really great idea to consult with an agent. I oftentimes will consult with people 6 months before they're actually ready to put it on the market. And sometimes I go in and they're like, we might not sell for 2 years, but we're thinking about doing a kitchen rehab or a bath rehab. What should we do? What will make our home more sellable? So if you think you're going to even sell in the next couple of years and you want to take on some rehab projects, I don't think it's a bad idea to consult with an agent to find out what it is that buyers want, because we go out with buyers all the time and we know what it is that buyers are looking for. And sometimes when people rehab their properties, they either spend way too much money and over improve, or maybe they put some finishes in that are very too specific and maybe trendy. So I always go with timeless and classic when it comes to rehabbing. Try and stay away from the trends. I know, like right now, green cabinets are all the rage. Well, they're really, really pretty, but I don't know. When you go to resell the home in 5 or 7 years and they see the green cabinets, it's going to tell you that was done in 2023, right? Or like I always call it, every shade of Tuscan, when that was really in, with the burgundy walls and the yellows and the greens, that sort of Tuscan look. That is very dated, and it's got a timestamp on it. So the more classic and timeless you can update your home, the better. So now the last question, which is kind of funny. I speak 2 languages, and then I have members on my team that speak multiple languages. So I have Stephanie, who speaks fluent Korean, which is fantastic. She's helped a lot of Korean clients, and Lydia that speaks Lithuanian, so Polish and Lithuanian speaking agents as well. And we have experts on my team that are experts in various areas of the Chicagoland area. So super important to work with a local expert when you're thinking about buying or selling your home. And then the last silly question from my really funny friend Kevin asked, are gum chewers jerks? So in other words, are people that chew gum jerks? That's a very interesting question. I would say overall no, unless they chew like a cow and they're loud and they leave their gum in disgusting places, like under chairs, instead of disposing the gum properly. So I would say gum chewers are not jerks as long as they have etiquette. And I think chewing gum is actually very therapeutic for a lot of people, especially if they have a lot of energy like me. They're, always buzzing around. The gum can actually help them focus. And so no, I don't think gum chewers are jerks as long as they have manners around where they dispose of the gum and aren't too loud. And I think it can really help people with that. So thank you so much. Any other questions, let me know. I will be addressing more of the Ask Me Anything, because I think I only addressed maybe 7 or 8 questions and I had 20. So I'm going to do this again probably next week, and I will be addressing more questions. And if you have any questions, real estate related or Glenview related or North Shore related or real estate related in any way, or even just want to know a little bit more about me, feel free to send me a DM or a comment, and I will address them in the future. Thank you for joining in, and take care. Happy International Women's Day.